Maine is facing yet another controversy this morning. Over the weekend, both the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times released reports that Plattner had exchanged sexually explicit text messages with several women while married. Plattner's actions were first brought to the attention of the campaign last year by his wife, Amy Gertner, who worried what would happen if they were made public. The Times writes that Genevieve McDonald, a former state legislator who was the Plattner campaign's political director before leaving in October, said that Gertner reached out just days before a big Labor Day rally with Senator Bernie Sanders and was concerned that her husband's behavior could become a political liability. The messages were confirmed by the campaign, and a representative for Plattner said he has since stopped and that he and his wife are in counseling. Gertner posted a video statement on social media in which she defended her husband.
I find it really shameful that there's a group of media outlets and people who are willing to spread gossip instead of talking about real issues that Graham is running on. Graham and I have a great marriage. Being married is hard. Being newly married is hard. I think it's shameful behavior to spend time and energy and resources on negative ads and negative stories on Graham.
This controversy is the latest in a campaign that has seen Plattner being forced to respond to things like old offensive posts on Reddit to a Nazi-style tattoo. Democratic leaders seem split on the candidate. Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna of California standing by Plattner, writing on social media on Saturday that he looks forward to their scheduled campaign event. But others, like Senator Cory Booker, are worried of the impact on the party's chances to retake the Senate.
Yeah, I have concerns. That guy has questions to answer, and that's what campaigns are for. I know that so much is riding on Democrats taking control of the Senate, that this election, if we do not get the votes necessary to take care of the House and the Senate, we will continue to have an out-of-control president.
So at least Plattner's campaign has showed a remarkable resiliency to this point, right? I mean, he dispatched a pretty popular sitting governor, Governor Mills, in the primary. And polls have him up on Susan Collins. Now, we should note, polls in Maine, traditionally unreliable. And Susan Collins is nothing if not a survivor. At the very least, we can say this is another real headache for the party.
Graham Plattner is clearly a very talented retail politician. But the problem is his judgment, which he clearly has been lacking in as an adult. It's one thing to have foolish, youthful indiscretions, but I'm sorry, you cannot get past. It is not a Nazi-style tattoo. It is the tattoo of concentration camp guards. It is the very worst tattoo you can get if you are getting anything Nazi, and that's a pretty high bar there. So this has been a slow-motion train wreck ever since that tattoo and knowledge of it hit the world, and it's only going to get worse. These texts, there are multiple women. Are all of those women going to keep their mouths shut from now until Election Day? What do you think, Lauren?
Well, right. And I mean, it's a little, I certainly appreciate his wife wanting to stand up for him. But I mean, come on, it's politics. What do you think is going to happen? Of course, everything is fair game. And of course, people's character and their behavior and their treatment of women matters. And is there a double standard in the parties? 100% there is, because of, I don't even have to begin to explain the double standards when it comes to the president of the United States. But Democrats have been trying to take the moral high ground and to run candidates that don't have these kinds of deep moral and personal problems. And by the way, it was a long shot to begin with to think that Democrats were going to take out Susan Collins. She's been there since 1996. The polls are wrong every single cycle. She has extraordinary resilience. And by the way, she knows the district incredibly well. She has served the people of Maine. Like her or not, Democrats dream of taking her out. I didn't think it was especially realistic to begin with, regardless of who was running. And now you have this very problematic guy. And I will say, as a Democrat, I find it really problematic when we stand by people who do not, who do not pass muster when it comes to some basic judgment and moral values, and we stand by them because they're on our side. How is that different than Republicans doing the same thing? I find it really problematic.
It's also going to be really fascinating to watch how the parties decide to deploy resources. For instance, Texas now is going to become
Right.
much more expensive. Republicans are going to have to divert
Yes.
money to Texas that maybe they could have used in Maine for Collins. We will have to see. But it is one thing is clear: the Senate appears to be a true toss-up as we sit here on June 1st. All right, coming up.